what's wrong and what's right. We've seen that this bowl, no matter where you put it, will someday have to break. This plate, no matter where you put it, will someday have to break. But we have to teach our children to wash these things so that they're clean and put them away safely. We have to teach children in line with these conventions so that we can use the bowl for a long time. This is a sign that we understand the Dhamma and are practicing the Dhamma. If you see that the bowl is going to break and tell your children, don't worry about it. When you've finished eating out of it, you don't have to wash it. If you drop it, it doesn't matter. It's not really ours. Toss it anywhere you want, for it's ready to break. If you speak in this way, you're simply too stupid. If we understand conventions, then when we fall sick, we look for medicine to take. When we feel hot, we take a bath. When we feel cold, we find something to keep the body warm. When we're hungry, we find rice to eat. We know that even though we eat rice, the body's still going to die. But at the moment, it hasn't reached its time to die. Like this bowl, it hasn't yet broken, so we take care of it so that we can benefit from it while we can. Feeding through the mouth. People who are intelligent. You don't have to teach a lot. People who are not intelligent, no matter how much you teach them, they don't understand. But this depends on the teacher too. By and large, we teach when we're in a bad mood. As when we teach our children, it's only when we're angry with them that we teach them, and then it's just a matter of yelling at them. We're not willing to teach them nicely. When people are in a bad mood, why should you teach one another? I'd say not to teach at that time. Wait until everyone's in a better mood, no matter how wrong the other person is. Put it aside for the time being. Wait until you're both in a good mood. Remember this, okay? From what I've observed, lay people teach their children only when they're angry with them. And so it hurts the children's feelings. You're giving them something that's not good, so why should they accept it? You suffer, your children suffer. That's the way things are. We all like what's good, but our goodness isn't enough. If you try to give someone something good, but you don't have a sense of time and place, a sense of your role, nothing good comes from it. It's like delicious food. You have to eat it with your mouth if you're going to benefit from it. But try stuffing it in your ear. Will it give any benefit? Will that delicious food give any benefit? All of us have our openings. You have to look for the other person's openings. That's the way it is with everybody. Potters beating pots. When raising your children, you need to have discernment. Have you ever watched potters? Potters beat their pots all day. They beat them to make them into pots. They don't beat them to break them. It's the same with your children. You have to keep teaching them. When the time comes to be fierce with them, be fierce only with your mouth, but not with your heart. Don't make yourself suffer. Even though you may be in a bad mood, you keep on teaching them, in the same way that a potter beats his pots all day. His intention is to make the pots beautiful. He doesn't beat them to break them. You should teach your children in the same way. Forcing the fruit. Don't get angry with people who can't yet do the practice. Just keep on teaching them. When their faculties mature, they'll be ready to accept what you say. If you keep on acting in this way, problems fall away. It's like a fruit that's still unripe. You can't force it to become sweet because it's still unripe, still sour. It's still small and unripe. You can't force it to become large and sweet. Just let it be. When it matures, it'll grow large on its own, sweet on its own, ripe on its own. If you can think in this way, you can be at your ease. That's the way it is with people in the world. The turtle and the snake. A forest fire was coming, and a turtle struggled to get away from the flames. It walked past a snake coiled up, and it forgot all about death. It felt sorry for the snake. The fire kept spreading closer and closer, and the turtle felt sorry for the snake. Why? Because it didn't have any legs, so how was it going to get away? The turtle was so afraid that the fire would burn the snake that it turned around to help the snake. The snake didn't do anything. As the fire got closer and closer, the snake uncoiled itself and slithered away. The turtle was stuck right there. It couldn't walk fast enough to get away from the fire, so it was burned to death. This is a comparison. It was all because of the stupidity of the turtle, because it thought that only if you had legs could you move. Anyone without legs couldn't move. When it came across the snake, it saw that the snake didn't have any legs. It misunderstood and thought that the fire would burn it to death. It was afraid the snake would die, but instead it died. Even though it had legs, it couldn't run. The snake, though, kept its cool. When the fire got close, it slithered away and escaped the danger. The cow knows the field. A person with conviction is like a cow eating grass. If we let it loose in a field of grass, it eats grass. If it won't eat grass, it's a pig. The same with people of conviction. You don't have to teach them a lot. Just let them loose in the field of merit, the monastic sangha, and they'll follow your example. Practice in line with your example of their own accord. Barking at leaves. When you go for alms in the village, put on your robes neatly before you go. Exercise restraint as you go for alms. I've seen new monks and novices who don't know anything. When they eat in someone's house, they have to look around, all over the place. Why do they have to look around? Some of them even stare. It's even worse than lay people. It's because they've been living in the wilderness and haven't seen anything like this for a long while. When they go into someone's home, they see this, see that, and it pulls at their eyes. They look all around because they're hungry. It's kind of like a dog. When it stays in the village market, it doesn't bark very much. But if you take it out into the wilderness and the wind blows the leaves around, it barks all night. So this is important. You have to be very careful when you go for alms. Dye in the mind. It's like rainwater, which is water that's clear and clean. Its clarity is normally clean. But if we put green or yellow dye into it, the water will turn green or yellow. It's the same with the mind. When it meets up with a preoccupation it likes, it's at ease. When it meets up with a preoccupation it doesn't like, it's ill at ease. It's like a leaf blown by the wind. It flutters. You can't depend on it. Flowers and fruits also get blown by the breeze. If they get blown by the breeze and fall from the tree, they never ripen. It's the same with the minds of human beings. Preoccupations blow them around, drag them around, pull them around, so that they fall, just like the fruit. Not awfully anything. Suppose there's a rock placed right here in front of us. It weighs about 12 kilograms, placed right here in front of us. Its weight is normal for it. It just stays right there. It's normal for it. But if we go to lift it, it doesn't feel normal at all. We find fault with it. This rock is awfully heavy. That's how we find fault with it. Actually, it's not awfully anything. When it sits there, it's perfectly normal for itself. Even though it's heavy, it doesn't cause anyone to suffer, as long as no one tries to pick it up and carry it. It's the same with our preoccupations. When preoccupations come passing in, then as long as we don't pick them up to carry them, as long as we let them go and put them down, there's no heaviness. If you had no attachment to things, it would be like not carrying this rock around. Even though the rock would have its weight, you wouldn't be weighed down, because you're not carrying it. Your preoccupations, whether they're good or bad, there's not much to them. If you know them for what they are, you let them go. You don't carry them around. You don't latch onto them. They dissolve into the air, that's all. They don't come after you. Playthings for the mind. It's like a child in your home. Suppose your child is always getting into mischief. No matter what you do, it won't stop. It won't stay still. So what do? You give it a balloon to play with. It's content to stay engrossed in its balloon. It doesn't cry. It doesn't bother you. Why? Because you give it something to play with, and so it's engrossed in its balloon. It's the same with the mind. When it's in a turmoil, jumping all around, give it a meditation topic to play with. What kind of topic? Recollection of the Buddha, recollection of the Dhamma, recollection of the Sangha, recollection of virtue, recollection of generosity, recollection of death. Let it contemplate death. The balloon of tranquility. It's as if your child gets a balloon. Whatever else it's been playing with, it puts aside. Its interest in other preoccupations grows quiet. It plays as it likes with the balloon. It's right there. Its mind is quiet. This level of quiet is just the level of quiet of a child with a balloon. Its mind is all tied up in the balloon. But this level of quiet isn't enough. The child sees the balloon floating in the air and it's engrossed. That's all. It doesn't think about whether or not the balloon is going to burst. It doesn't think. It sees the balloon floating in the air and it's engrossed. This is what's called samatha, tranquility. Vipassana, or insight, is a matter of making your discernment greater than that. You know what's going to happen to the balloon. Will it eventually burst? That sort of thing. Eventually you see in the mind that the balloon is inconstant. It's sure to burst. Your discernment shoots out to that point. Tranquility doesn't have any discernment. It sees the balloon floating in the air and just keeps playing with it. When the balloon bursts, pop, it cries. Why doesn't it think? It doesn't have the discernment to see that the balloon will burst. It doesn't look into inconstancy, stress, and not self. It just sees the balloon floating and it feels satisfied, engrossed. This is tranquility, the stillness of tranquility. With concentration, the mind is quiet, but defilements are still there, simply that for the moment no defilements appear in the mind. That's why it's not disturbed. It's quiet like a balloon for the time being. There's still air in the balloon, and it's still floating. It's just there to make the child happy over made-up things, that's all. Tranquility is just like that. The balloon is already burst. It's like a child or an adult playing with a balloon. You see the balloon floating and you ask, what's eventually going to happen to the balloon? Oh, it's not for sure. It's inconstant, stressful, and not self. There's nothing dependable about it. Eventually it's sure to burst. This is the view of the adult, the view of a person of discernment. It doesn't trust the balloon. It always sees that the balloon will burst for sure. It sees clearly. Eventually the balloon bursts, boom, and the mind is still at ease. Why is it at ease? Because insight has arisen, because it sees that the balloon is burst before it bursts, right? It's already burst. It bursts after it's burst in our view. That's why no problem arises. It's the same with our body, or any object we get and we love a lot. We have to understand that eventually it'll have to break down. I'll give you an example. A lovely cup or plate. Once we get it, some people get really happy and glad. That's the way children are. People without discernment think that it's good, that it won't break. But people with discernment see this glass or this plate, when they get it and happiness arises, and think, this is just, that's all. It's a vessel that one day is going to have to leave us. It'll have to get broken. If it doesn't break and leave us, we have to break and leave it. When you can think in this way, the mind has gone to a high level. It's trying to gain release from suffering and stress. After a while, as we use the plate and it eventually breaks, no problem can arise. Why? Because we know that it's already broken. This is insight. When this glass breaks, it's no big deal. It's perfectly normal. When you know how, don't get stuck on the texts. Don't focus on what all the different teachers say. Talk about things that are Dhamma. It's like being a student in school. We study books in school. As long as we don't know, we study books in school. We read in school, write in school, and get taught in school until we can pass the exams. We now can read and write. When a friend sends a letter to us at home, we can read it at home. We don't have to carry it to school to read. Once we've learned the alphabet, we can read the letter anywhere and understand what it's saying. If we want to write a letter, we can write it at home or at the side of the road and send it off, because we now know how to write. It's the same with our practice. When we practice the precepts, we don't have to take the precepts from monks, because we already know how to practice. If a monk teaches us, we listen, we take them. They still count as the 5 precepts either way. The one mango. So we should always keep on practicing in this way. Tranquility is right in here. Insight is right in here. You can't separate them out. We can separate them in our speech, but we can't separate them in reality. It's like a mango. You can't separate it out. You can't separate ripe from unripe in the mango. We see that at one point in time it's sour, and then after that it's ripe and sweet. Where did the sour go? It's turned into sweet. At first its peel is green, but when it's ripe, it's yellow. Where did the green go? It's turned into the yellow. You can't separate these things out. The one mango explained. This mango is first small, then it's half ripe, then it's ripe. When it's ripe, is it the same mango as the small one? When it comes out as a flower, it's this mango. When it's small, it's this mango. When it's big, it's the same mango. When it's half ripe, it's the same mango. When it's ripe, it's the same mango. The same with virtue, concentration, and discernment. Virtue, in simple terms, is abandoning evil. A person without virtue is hot. If he abandons evil, he cools down, for he has no guilt. That lack of guilt is the reward of virtue. It makes the mind peaceful. The mind gets concentrated. When the mind is concentrated, it's clear and clean. You can see lots of things in it. It's like water with no ripples. If you look into it, you see not only the reflection of your face, you can see all the way to the roof above you. When birds fly past, you can see them too. So these things are all the same thing, like the one mango. The mango in harmony. You have to look for concentration, discernment, and virtue all together at the same time. When they develop together. When your perfections reach fullness, they're full together. Your right views. When your discernment sees rightly, every factor in the Eightfold Path will be right. If it's right only 10%, then each of the 10 perfections will be only 10%. It's like a mango. When the fruit is ripe, the entire fruit is ripe. There's no part that isn't ripe. It's ripe altogether. When it's half ripe, the entire fruit is half ripe. It doesn't separate into different parts. If we separate things into different parts, we don't understand anything, and we create difficulties for ourselves. So we're taught to train ourselves in virtue, concentration, and discernment all at the same time. That way, our virtue, our concentration, and our discernment will be in harmony with one another. Just like this mango. When it's unripe, it's all unripe in harmony. When it's half ripe, it's all half ripe in harmony. When it's ripe, it's all ripe in harmony in just the same way, because it's a single fruit. The fluttering mind. Stillness of mind without discernment is like a leaf that flutters when stirred by a breeze. In other words, stillness of mind without discernment is dark and then bright, back and forth. It's like a person who eats meat and gets a piece stuck in his teeth. When he pries it out, he feels better. When he's hungry, he eats some more and gets another piece stuck in his teeth. It hurts again. When he pries it out, he feels better again. The snake under the cloth. Mental stillness on its own has other things mixed in with it. It's still because there are things mixed in with it, but it's not aware of them. That's why it's still. Suppose that this foot-wiping cloth that my feet are on has a poisonous snake living under it. I can put my feet here without any fear because I don't see the snake. But actually, there's a poisonous snake right here. I have no idea, so I can relax, with no fear of anything. The fact that I don't feel any fear is because I don't know that there's a poisonous snake right here. This is samatha, tranquility. Who cares if there are defilements there? I feel peaceful right now. This is called stillness of mind, without the defilements being still. It's called samatha. We train the mind to be still so that, in the next step, the defilements will be still. That's an affair of discernment. Healing the wound. Tranquility is stillness that lasts only for a little while. The stillness is the foundation for insight. Insight is seeing clearly, understanding more clearly than you did before. Insight is not simply still. The stillness of tranquility is like running away from noises to a wilderness where there's no noise. If you have lots of children, you run away to a wilderness where there are no children. When you don't see your children or don't hear any noise, you find stillness. But that kind of stillness is like having a wound, stitching it up and covering it up with a bandage until it looks like it's healed. But actually, there's still an infection inside. When the infection flares up, you cut it open, stitch it up again, put medicine in it, and the wound heals over. But there's still infection inside. It's not really healed. That's tranquility. With insight, you have to remove all the infected tissue so that it can heal from the inside. Don't stitch it up. Wait until it's free from infection and then close it off. Shoot it full of medicine so that it heals from the inside to the out. When the outside is healed, that's it. The inside is already good, so it won't get infected again. That's insight meditation. The stillness of insight. When the mind reaches that level of stillness, it's not enough. The stillness of tranquility. You have to make it still through insight. You have to give rise to discernment. With the stillness of tranquility, it's like not being able to be still in a hot place. You have to go to the seaside to be still. When you go back to where it's hot, you're not still anymore. The preoccupations of tranquility are only on this level of stillness. But with the preoccupations of insight, then when it's hot in the mountains, you can stay there comfortably. When you go down to the seaside, you can stay there comfortably. You can focus on knowing these things, and the mind doesn't run. It knows pleasure. It knows pain. That's how we know when we practice. Rocks in the way. We're walking along a road that goes straight ahead. It doesn't matter how many kilometers it goes, we just keep walking straight ahead. When we find a log or a rock obstructing our way, we pick it up and throw it off to the side of the road. We're trying to make the mind quiet and still. The preoccupations that arise by way of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body all come together here at the mind. When the mind gets involved with these things, it's like a rock obstructing our way. It interferes with our walking, so we pick it up and throw it off to the side. The preoccupation arising at that moment we see as inconstant, stressful, and not self. We throw it off to the side. Don't hold on to anything at all. Let it go and keep on walking. If love comes, we let it go. If hatred comes, we let it go. That's all. Killing your meditation. When standing, walking, sitting, and lying down, keep your mindfulness continuous at all times. This is called practicing meditation, kammatthana, correctly. The reason why our mindfulness isn't continuous is because we don't do it. Doing it isn't something the body does. The mind is what does it. If we do our mindfulness so that it's continuous, so that we're constantly aware, it's like drops of water that flow continuously, so that they become a continuous stream of water. If you can train the mind in this way, your meditation will progress quickly and well. But these days, people go practice Vipassana for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, and then they come out of retreat. They say that they've already done Vipassana and they're already good at it, so they go to sing and dance and play around. When that happens, their Vipassana is gone, and they don't have any left. When they do all kinds of unskillful things that stir up the heart and damage it like this, you can't call it practice. It's a mode of practice, like planting a tree where you plant it today, and then, in 3 days' time, you pull it up and plant it over there. Then, after another 3 days, you pull it up again. The tree is going to die, and you won't get to eat the fruit. Meditation can die in just the same way. Staying at home. If you have mindfulness and alertness at all times, you'll come to your senses. If you waste your time playing with other things, suffering will arise and you'll suffer, because you don't have any mindfulness. Your alertness isn't here. It's like your home. If you leave and don't close the door, dogs will come in and eat your stored up rice. Thieves will come in and steal all your things. It's the same when you don't have mindfulness. Actually, you have mindfulness, but it's mindful of other things. It's like leaving your house. You're still there, but you're not there in the house. You're there somewhere else. It's the same with mindfulness. You have mindfulness, but your mindfulness isn't here. Thieves come and steal the things you have here, but you're not here. Your here is somewhere else. Your mindfulness is working somewhere over there. It's not working here. If your mindfulness is working here, then you'll sense when a preoccupation strikes the mind. If the mind likes it, you'll know, and you'll see that it's inconstant. Don't latch onto it, or else you'll fall into suffering and stress. You'll see. This is inconstant, stressful, and not self, right there. That means that you're practicing the Dhamma. This is why people who practice have mindfulness, the ability to recollect, at all times while they're standing, walking, sitting, and lying down. Alertness always knows what we're doing right now. This is how you have the opportunity to awaken to the Dhamma. You'll have the opportunity to chase these dogs out of your home, to chase away the thieves that have come to steal your things. Because you're right here. You'll have the opportunity not to lose your belongings. Fix it right here. This practice is called the practice of the Dhamma. If you can see every day, If you can try to see continually into your mind, then even if you're doing work, you'll see. Try to see with every moment. You might say, "Oh ho, Venerable Father, I don't have any time to meditate. I can't meditate. I'm always busy." That's how we tend to see things. Actually, where you're busy is the place where you practice. Wherever there's heat, there's coolness right there. You don't understand. All you see is that when heat arises, there's nothing but heat there. No coolness at all. Actually, wherever there's busyness, there's stillness right there. Wherever there's wrongness, there's rightness right there. Wherever there's turmoil, there's stillness right there. Look, if you do something wrong right here, where are you going to correct it? It's as if something goes wrong in your motorcycle right here, right in this spot. Where are you going to fix it? You fix it right where something has gone wrong, and then it'll go right there, that's all. Wherever you encounter a preoccupation you like, you practice right there. Oh, this isn't for sure. We've already experienced pleasure. We've already experienced pain many times. This won't turn into anything else. It'll turn into nothing but suffering. If you can think correctly like this, the mind will keep staying in that state. A fish on land. Our different postures hide pain. When you've been sitting a long time and then switch positions because of the pain disappears. That's why we don't see the pain. It's like youth hiding old age inside. The mind is taken with the looks, the sounds, the smells, the tastes of youth. But if you stay with it for a while, old age starts to show its face. The mind is like a fish in water. When you catch it and bring it on land, it'll squirm and struggle to get back into the water. If you simply let it go, it'll be at its ease. But if you catch the mind and make it sit in meditation, it'll see pain. If you simply let it go as it likes, it won't see pain, like the fish in water. But when you try sitting in meditation, it's like a fish caught and placed on land. It'll see pain immediately. Overcoming pain. Suppose you're sitting in concentration and it really hurts. When it hurts, you come out of meditation. Then you meditate some more until you reach the point where it hurts, and then you come out again. This is why you don't understand suffering even though you suffer. Wherever you sit and meditate, you suffer pain. So you ask yourself, what can I do to overcome this? You have to make a decision. Sit, but don't move. Let the body die. You depend on what the Buddha said. Whatever arises passes away. If pain arises, why won't it pass away? As soon as you sit, there's nothing but pain. It hurts. It aches. Sweat starts flowing in drops as big as corn kernels. You're about to move, but you say, number. Let it die. You have to take it that far, until the mind goes beyond death. The pain disappears. Once you've gone beyond death, discernment arises. Confidence gets strong. You thought that you wouldn't be able to stand it. You thought that you were about to die. This is called training yourself with a heavy hand. It's not for general use. After that, whenever you meditate, you understand, because you've seen how far the pain can go. This is called overcoming pain. If you can't overcome pain, then when you reach that point, you fall out of concentration. You die every time. You don't have any strength. You have to overcome it someday in your practice. Once you've overcome it, you won't be afraid of it, because you've seen what it's like. It's like being a boxer. If you haven't boxed in the ring, you're afraid. Once you've boxed in the ring, you're not afraid anymore, for you know what it's like. You have to experiment with this. This is called overcoming pain. Why study? If you close your eyes, you won't see any light. Things won't be bright. When things aren't bright, you don't see light and colors. You don't see your way. The Dhamma of study is like your eyes. Your eyes help you see where you're going. Wherever you walk, you have to depend on your eyes to look ahead. While your eyes are looking, your feet keep walking at the same time. Whatever your activities, you have to depend on your eyes to open the way, to forge a trail through the darkness. That's their nature. It's the same with the Dhamma of study. If you know how to put it to use, it serves a purpose. If you don't put it to use, it won't serve any purpose. It's like having a knife that you hone until it's sharp. If you put it away without using it, it won't serve any purpose. No matter how sharp it is, if you don't use it, if you put it away, it won't serve any purpose. So when you've studied, you should put it to use so as to benefit from it. If you study but don't put it to use, it's like a farmer growing rice in a field but not harvesting the rice, or growing a garden but not harvesting the vegetables. You have to study first. Only then should you think about going out to practice in the forest. You have to study what the aim of practicing in the forest is. Only then should you go practice in the forest. It's like knowing the purpose of growing rice before you grow rice, or the purpose of growing vegetables before you grow vegetables. Know the aim, the purpose of practicing in the forest. The name of the fruit that you offered to the monks. I don't know its name, but I know that its flavor is sweet and delicious. That much I know, but I don't know what it's called, and it's not really necessary. All that's necessary is knowing that its flavor is sweet and delicious. Right? That's really necessary. What's the name of this fruit? That's not really necessary. If someone tells you, you can remember it. But if you don't know the name, you can let the matter go. After all, knowing the name doesn't increase the sweetness or make the fruit more sour. The knowledge that comes from the practice, we practice so that we'll know. It's knowledge that knows all the way in. Once you know all the way in, you let go. The knowledge that comes from the practice, once it knows all the way in, lets go. The knowledge that comes from studying doesn't let go, you know. It fills us up until we're stuffed tight. It ties us down even more.